Welcome back to Deep Bloop. In this video, we're going to show you the basic signer. The basic signer tool ships with the Bloop document signer when you select the option for the professional or the Grande version of the Bloop signer tool at the time of purchase or at the time of subscription. Now, in order to invoke that tool, just click on a basic signer. This is the design, the interface that opens up. In this interface, on the very first row, the sign digitally option is of something that requires to be explained here. In order for you to sign a document, a PDF document that is digitally on top of the electronic signature, you would need a certificate file to be attached to the document. And now, how to create a certificate file was explained in a prior video, but we can explain it one more time here. That's already actually all you have to do is go to how to, and the fourth step clearly spells out the 5 different steps involved in creation of a digital certificate file. That file has an extension of .pfx, and we would also need a password for that file. Now, alternatively, you can get that file from a certificate authority, and if we didn't do either of this, the digital certificate file that comes or ships with this tool will be used for stamping the digital signature when you click this checkbox. This button called Send Mail comes into play when you don't want to send an email on submission of a signature process immediately, but you want to defer the sending of the email action at a later time. This could be required in a situation where you don't have internet connectivity at that point of time when the customer signature was required to be obtained, or you would like to defer sending of the email with the attached signed documents at a later time for other business consideration. When you have this box, which is checked by default, the signature, after the signature process is completed, that signed document will be sent out to the recipient as an attachment immediately. So let's keep it unchecked so we can send this email later and not at the same time. On clicking this control here, it expands to show the actual steps required to process this signature action. As it says in these boxes, step 1 is the first step that is required to be followed by step 2, and the step 3 on the right is optional. In this, we now have 2 options to load a document on this surface for signature to happen. One, by dragging and dropping a file here on this box, on this white area, and clicking the load document button, at which time this document is shown here and is ready for signature. Alternatively, we can browse for input folder. Let's browse for input folder. And we can use this input folder as our drop location, which is, if we now drop any file here on this input location, the system will automatically pick it up for the signature process. Let's do it the first way. And the second way, of course, was same as in the quick signer, except that in the quick signer we define the input location from our admin setup page and not from here. Similarly, we can define an output location where all the signed documents will be dropped after it is sign. Let's select this as the signed output folder. Now at this time, if you had any other already signed documents available at this location, you can view it here. This shows all the signed documents that ever were created by using this tool, and it's now available for selection as an attachment to be sent to a customer. We're not going to do that at this time, but if we selected one and then we if we had clicked send mail, this document will be sent as an attachment to the person addressed here, with the subject and a message body here on clicking the send mail button. So select a document, give the recipient address, the subject of the email, and the message body, and click send mail. This way we can send an email to the recipient with the attached document that is located from here. Now this again was required when you didn't have internet connectivity, or for any other reasons you didn't want to send an email right away. Now this document is ready for signature, but first we need to define a signer for the system to know whose signer we are talking about. Let's call him like Bloop Tester at gmail.com. Now he has a name called Bloop. Now we create a signature. Now the system knows that we have a signer called this name with this email address and this name, ready for signing on this document. Let's go ahead with the signing process now. We can click anywhere in this document. When you do, just like before in a quick signer, invisible area shows up where you can actually start signing by pressing the left mouse button and moving your mouse over the mouse pad, or on a laptop keep on clicking the left mouse button with your thumb and move your index finger on the touchpad. If you like the location of this signature and the signature itself, then you can save it here and then you can submit. You might also want to do the initials just like you did. So initial will be, say, like that, and we save the initial as well, and now we are ready to submit the document. Yeah, it did submit the document, but it popped a message saying since we have the checkbox checked, it's expecting us to have an email address for it to send to. Since you did not provide an email address, it just gave a mild warning saying you chose for sending an email on submit, but you did not provide an email address. So I didn't send the document as an attachment to anyone, but I have presented to you after the signature process was done, and here it is. So as you can see, the initials here, the signature is here, followed by the time and date of this signature, and the email address of the person and the name of the person. Cool. So this is how it works, and if we need to do another one, we can similarly drop another file onto the design surface, select the file, load the file, and here we have another one, and we have to repeat the whole process, create a signer and do it again and again. How many times, however many times you want to do that way. Alternatively, we can select already signed document, which is the one we just did, say this one, and then put an email address and send it. If we had selected checked signed digitally, it'll pop up with a message saying there is no certificate file in the output folder selected. Do you want to browse for one? If you have, system will sign using a built-in certificate file if no. So if you say yes, it'll look for a certificate file in the output folder defined. So if you have an certificate file that you did not define in the admin setup, you can drop that certificate file in the output folder and then check this checkbox. At this point of time, the system will know that there is a certificate file for us to sign this document digitally on top of the electronic signature. That's about it on the basic signer. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.